Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast and welcome to Tournament Talk. We are looking at tournament rosters for all of the teams spoiled in the Blood Bowl 2020 rulebook. So to do that, what we're doing is we're looking at builds that are hitting 1.1 million and 1.2 million. The reason for that is when tournaments reopen next year, they're going to be of different values. So we are giving you a little bit cheaper list and a little bit more expensive list so that you can get a good idea of what you can fit into your build. But also what you're likely to come across when you go and play tournaments again. We will talk through skills as well, but every tournament has its own kind of way to put together a skill package. So realistically, we don't expect you to be able to take everything, but we're going to pick out some of the top ones we think you should take and the ones to expect. If you're playing against, for example, Chaos at your next tournament, these are kind of some of the lists you may see. So let's move on to Chaos list number 1. And it is the Chaos Classic. It's the same thing we've known and loved for years. Just because Chaos got a bit more spicy doesn't mean that this isn't probably the best build out there. 1 Minotaur, 4 Chaos Chosen Warriors, 6 Beastmen, 3 rerolls, takes your team to 1090. You get everything you want here. You get a big blitzing bad boy. You get 4 strength 4 agility 3+, guys. They can still do things. No. Yes, it's fine. They're agility 3+, but passing 5+. Well, had me worried then for a second. I had this horrible feeling. However, that means that you've got those guys and you've got 6 beastmen. They're movement 6, agility 3+, and they're blitzing at strength 4. So Chaos are historically tier 2. Let me just double check that one as well. And they are still sitting at tier 2. So it means you are going to get a little bit more skills than the tier 1 boys and girls. So Minotaur, what are some good skill choices for it? The Juggernaut skill is pretty useful. This guy has Frenzy and Horns. So you kind of want to blitz with the Minotaur whenever you can. Juggernaut's going to help make that more effective because it's going to turn those both downs into pushes, which means you're going to be able to follow up with another strength 6 block. Claw got nerfed. This guy has Mighty Blow. You can take Claw, but they don't stack anymore, essentially. So it's up to you if you want to take it. Depends on what you think the meta is going to be. I wouldn't bother. Brawler is also another good skill, but it doesn't work on blitzes. So probably not a great one for a Minotaur. At block, however, if you've got a double to spend, and at tier 2 you may very well have, block, frenzy, horns is a very tasty combination for a Minotaur. I like to say they're cruise missiles. The lack of claw is going to hurt them, but it's going to be fine. You got 4 Chaos Chosen, so these guys are strength 4 beasts. Just give them block. If you just give them block, they are amazing. Alternatively, because they are strength 4 and they are armor 10+, they make very good receptacles for guard because they are tough to move. And if you've got a couple of these guys with guard at strength 4, they're basically just better big and blockers, and that's just going to help enable the rest of your team, especially if you think about blitzing with that Minotaur. What's +1 strength when you're blitzing at strength 6? It's a 3-die block, so definitely consider that. You've got 6 Beastmen as well. These guys tend to be the do-everything. They can blitz. You want to be blitzing with the Minotaur, but if you're going to blitz with these guys, they're going to get strength 4, which means they're going to be 2 dice. And what makes 2 dice blocking better but the block skill? Also, if you are considering having a safety or someone who can sweep your backfield for intruding gutter runners, chuck and tackle on a Beastman is not a bad thing at all. Even if it's a strength 3 dodge piece, they're going to get 2 dice, and with tackle that's going to be really healthy. This roster also comes with 3 rerolls, which is kind of where you want to be because you do have no ball handling skills. But Chaos are there to murder folks. That strength is going to keep them safe the majority of the time, which means these rerolls will be there for when things go wrong and when you need to put the ball in Blood Bowl and actually pick up the ball. List number 2, please. Ugh, it's the Troll. Right, so you can take a Troll now on the Chaos roster instead of a Minotaur. At 1100, it really achieves nothing. You've already got enough cash to get 3 rerolls and to pad out and get 4 of your chosen as well. That said, the Troll is definitely worth considering because of the role it plays. So the Minotaur is a cruise missile. The Troll is a tower. You position it there, and based on the skills you give it, it can be a really solid blocker, bit of terrain. You know, it's armor 10 plus, it's regenerating. Giving it Brawler makes its blocks more efficient. Giving it Block makes its blocks far more efficient. But Tentacles is some skill that you can give this guy. And with Strength 5, if you put him on the line, generally speaking against Strength 3 players, they are going to be stuck trying to fight their way out against Strength 5. Alternatively, you can give it Guard, put it on the line, and just have everybody else do the punching. The Troll suffers from really stupid, so you're going to need to keep it supported. However, Tentacles and Guard, you don't need to activate. So, always worth considering. People do love a mutated Troll, so it's definitely worth discussing. And the third big guy option for Chaos is the Ogre. So, you kind of got all three angles of attack here with big guys. You've got the Minotaur that's going to hunt things down and kill it. You've got the Troll who's going to stand still. And you've got the Ogre who's kind of the middle ground. Bonehead is probably the best nega trait in the game. There's a funny sentence. It is. It's got movement 5. It's got agility 4+. So this guy comes in at 140k, I think. And using Brawler, Block, or Guard, it can basically be the middle ground between the Troll and the Minotaur. It will stay on the line and it will brawl brilliantly. Or it can go and do a big guy blitz. One skill I've not listed here is Break Tackle. Now, Break Tackle is +2 to dodge, to a dodge roll with strength 5. So this guy, who has agility 4+, actually gives him a 2+ dodge away. Very useful skill. However, I would rather give him something to murder things with. So Block, Guard, Brawler is probably slightly better. You still got the 4 Chosen, the 6 Beastmen, and the 3 rerolls with this roster. I just wanted to talk through each of the 3 big guys because they kind of each perform a slightly different role. Okay, let's ramp things up to 1200. So we'll start with the Minotaur because the Minotaur is the most expensive of the big guys. So this roster will also apply to both the Troll and the Ogre. 1 Minotaur, 4 Chaos Warriors, chosen now, 7 Beastmen, so that's 1 more guy, and 3 rerolls plus an Apothecary, all for 1200. That's 12 people, 12 players, plus the Apo to keep any one of your 5 most useful players alive. Now, Beastmen, if you're going to give them a special skill, if you're going to go the sure hands angle, which I don't recommend, but if you are up against a really dodgy team and your tackle piece gets knocked out, that Apothecary is going to be able to keep him back in. If your Minotaur gets taken out as well, the Apo is going to keep him on the board. So going up 100k doesn't get you anything else in the way of new stuff. It just means you're going to be more resilient with the stuff you've already got. So let's look at the star players that Chaos can take. Got interesting, okay? We lost a few of the old staples. Lewd Grip Whiparm is not around at the moment. I have no doubt he's going to get brought back in because they did source him up a little bit for Blood Bowl 2016, so at least there was still the appetite for him. But for now, what would you like instead? How about a Strength 3 Gutter Runner? That's right, Hakflem Scuttle Spike, my mistake. 180k, movement 9, strength 3, agility 2+, multiple heads, multiple arms, gives him +1 to doing everything in the world. Hakflem is a scoring machine, and you get to take him along with almost everything else for Chaos. This roster comes in at 1200. That is very important because the Ogre can be taken, but the Minotaur cannot, okay, with this build. But let's talk this one through first. 1 Ogre, 4 Chaos Warriors, 6 Beastmen, takes you to 11 players, plus Hakflem. You've got 2 rerolls. So there's 2 things to consider with this roster. Beastmen can take leader on a double. I really, really recommend you spending a double skill to give any Beastman you like. Preferably the least well painted one, because the better painted the model, the earlier it dies. That leader is going to keep your team operating well. Yes, it's a shame to lose a skill to a reroll, but it's also a great way to sneak 60k in that you can spend on a massive, massive advantage. Okay, Chaos do the grind better than most teams, but now they've also got a great stretch play. Beastmen are not bad. With agility 3+, they can do everything humans can do, but now they get to hand off to Hakflem Scuttle Spike, who can then just run away. 9 squares. Chaos cannot be stopped. You can get 4 or 5. You can perform a launch pad here with a blinding offense. This could be the upgrade that takes Chaos at tournaments above where they are now. Chaos are solid, but chucking in a Gutter Runner makes every team better. Just ask Underworld. The downside of this roster is that you cannot afford the Minotaur. So you've got to decide whether or not you're okay with it. There's one way around it. You can drop a Chaos Chosen, pick up a Beastman. It's going to take your roster to 1170. You're going to end up with 30k left spare. It's not ideal, but it's up to you. I would probably accept the Ogre at this point instead of the Minotaur and just play a brawling game with a great piece in Hakflem Scuttle Spike. Goodness gracious me. I've been saying the wrong name for 20 years. Forgive me, guys. And then there's Lord Borak. So this is a very small roster. Lord Borak is a very cool star player now. With all these star players, please go watch our Star Player Spotlight series because it goes into a lot of detail about the stars and what they bring. But Lord Borak is a Movement 5, Strength 5, Agility 3+ piece with Block, Dirty Player +2, Loner 4+, Mighty Blow +1, and Sneaky Git. Okay, so he is an absolute behemoth. He's 260. Block, Strength 5. Pretty tasty. He also comes with half a reroll, essentially. A team that includes Lord Borak gains an extra team reroll for the first half of the game. If this team reroll is not used during the first half, you get it in the second half instead. So he's going to make your team better. And 260k, that's a pretty fair replacement for one of your big guys. Because you drop a big guy, you replace it with the Beastman, you stick with those 2 rerolls, which means you have to kind of go with leader on a Beastman if you want. 4 warriors, 7 beastmen. You can still do plenty of great Blood Bowl with that, but also you've got a big guy that has no nega trait except Loner 4+, but he comes with Block and Mighty Blow, so he's doing everything you wanted to do anyway. And you're kind of sitting at 2.5 rerolls, so if you don't want to spend that leader reroll, if you don't want to spend the skill on leader, at least one of the halves, while Borak is alive, you're going to have 3 rerolls, so it really is interesting. Borak itself is really cool, and it's a great way to have 5 Chaos Warriors on the pitch. The Borak miniature is brilliant. There are quite a few good alternatives, and you can convert some wicked stuff. So it's great to see Borak at an affordable price, and at 1200 is a reasonable price point to get him onto the pitch. Can't do this for Chaos without including at least one Beastman team, and you can do something really cool at 1200. You can take Borak and the Minotaur and 10 Beastmen. 2 rerolls, so you got the whole leader conversation that we just went through, but you can have Minotaur plus Borak and a bunch of Beastmen and fly the Beastman flag. The wicked thing about this is you could really just get another Minotaur model that you really like and say this guy is Borak, this guy is Minotaur, and just have a great time. Probably subpar, but quite frankly I've run a team with no Chaos Warriors. You lose the strength, you gain the speed, but in this one you gain Borak as well, so it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't think it's going to be top. I don't think it's going to be optimal, but it is going to be fun. And then finally we've got the Grak and Chaos Berry build. 1200 you can take Grak and Crumbleberry. So in the time long ago, in the before times, there was a star player duo called Brickvarth and Grotty. There was an ogre and a goblin. I think the goblin had Edge 4. Those were good times, and Chaos could take him. So with this roster, you drop your big guy, you lose a reroll, leader, etc. 4 warriors, 7 beastmen, but you get an ogre and what is now a Chaos Halfling. And the Chaos Halfling comes with Sure Hands. So you get an ogre who comes with all the standard stuff. You got Strength 5, Agility 4+, which is okay. Gonna have Loner the same as your big guy anyway. This guy comes with Kick Teammate. Slightly better passing stat of 4+ rather than 5+, I think. Mighty Blow, it's going to be doing all the crumping that your big guy is going to do, especially if you're going for the ogre route. But it comes with a free halfling, so you get 13 players, a throw teammate option, an inbuilt Sure Hands. I'll admit, halflings are squishy. It's a really interesting build that it gives Chaos another element. It gives it a different angle, okay? And that's the cool thing about this edition, is we've talked through like 5, 6, 7 different Chaos builds. Do I want the Troll build? I'm at 1200. Do I want to take the Minotaur? Do I want to take Borak? Do I want to take Borak and a Minotaur and lose nothing else? Do I want to have Throw Teammate and a Halfling on my Chaos team? Blood Bowl is absolutely winning, and that's such an exciting place to be because I'm going to be so excited when I set up and someone has got a cool Chaos converted Grak and Crumbleberry Chaos build and I lose because they've destroyed me and then throw teammate. That's a great way to go. So we've looked through a bunch of different Chaos rosters. I really want to know what you guys think, because we kind of gone a bit more creative with this, and that's why Chaos are so good. We didn't even touch on mutations, and there's a couple of star players we didn't cover, and I'm expecting we're going to have more coming soon somehow from Games Workshop. But Hakflem, it's going to make Chaos very winning-y, and Grek and Chaosberry are going to make Chaos, it's going to have all the dynamics, and we're just seeing so much change. It's wicked. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for here. Please do let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow for more tournament rosters.